G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, and I've been wanting to work with Kase filters for a long time because a photographer I admire greatly, Sean Scott, says he always uses Kase filters, and so I was like, oh, let's get into them. Anyway, long story short, that was about 3 years ago. Then Kase reached out and said, do you want to try our new CPL III filter? It's exceptional. I said, how so? And they said, well, your average CPL filter reduces the glare down to 0.6%. A really good CPL filter reduces the glare down to 0.3. We've got it to 0.1. Do you want to try it? I'm like, yes, I do. So that's what I did. So here's a look at it. A couple of comments before we get into the photos. I wanted a CPL filter to fit on my Tamron 150-600, which I love for wildlife, but sometimes I'm like, a CPL would be handy. This is a 95mm and it fits on. The challenge is once it's on, it's difficult to get off. So you may want to invest in some of these. I'll put a video at the end about the value of these in getting a filter off, because you have to be really careful. And I find this filter likes to get snug and in. So my advice is just put it on really carefully and don't go too tight, because you'll just have a mongrel of a time trying to get it off, as I have had on this and off of a step-up ring as well. But it sits on, it looks really nice, and the inside part of the filter that's attached to the lens is beveled and the outside isn't, which is good when you're trying to get it off, because you want some grip on the bevel to release it from the thread attached to your lens or your step-up ring. Secondly, this is an ND filter as well. It's not meant to be, but CPLs are, and the ND rating on this is 1.5 to 2 stops. So the light coming into your sensor is reduced by 1.5 to 2 stops. So you have to allow for that when you're taking a photo. And finally, what I say with all my CPLs is it increases color saturation, it decreases glare, and this one in particular likes to say it reduces lens flare. So we're going to put it in some lens flare situations, see how it goes. Let's go. This is the first shot I took straight into the sun, and this is with no filter whatsoever. Then I put on the Kase III, and the Kase III, as you can see, it moves from this to this, so it just accentuates the sunburst. I kind of like it. It holds the colors. It doesn't change a great deal of everything. Like if you just look at this little leaf here, it doesn't change a great deal. But then what I did is I thought, let's compare it with Moment CPL. Now, Moment CPL filter is the filter that I have used quite regularly, and I really rate it. So then I put the CPL from Moment on, and this isn't too bad, but look at the glare that's reduced here, that's increases here. So all this, see this extra glare here? So it's reduced here, it's minimal there, reduced there with the bigger sunburst, and then kind of a mess. So let's move on. This is just a shot of a hedge, but I did it because I knew lens flare would happen. So this is lens flare up here, right? This is no filter on the lens whatsoever. Let's go to Kase CPL III. And look at that. So it was, and you can see how it has extra little bit of artifacts here and here. And obviously as you turn it, these disappear, but this grows slightly bigger. But that's what it was, and that's what it is. And then I put on the Moment CPL. A Moment CPL was just awful. And when I turned it, it did this. So if you're looking at no CPL, CPL from Kase III, and then Moment, like, oh, at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to chuck out my CPL from Moment. Now let's go to some reflections. So this is my car, and just shot with no filter on whatsoever. Have a look at these reflections. So a CPL can reduce reflections. So let's go to the Kase III. That's the difference. So we've gone from that to that, from that to that. It has reduced all these reflections, but also look at the window that's made, okay? So now let's go to Moments, and we go to Moment, and the car looks pretty similar. Like that's just the wind that's moved the trees, but the car looks really similar, but the window of the car, look, more glare, less glare, more glare, less glare. All right, let's now go to my car window. So this is just a shot of the window that has the reflection on, and I'm focused about here to see if I can push in. So then I put Kase CPL on, and we have this experience. So we go from this, and it reduces the glare here and all across the windscreen, so I can actually see into the car. And then I put the Moment on, and the Moment, like the car looks pretty good. except with Moment, it starts to creep in here and creep in here. What I did with all these filters is I tried to set them on the very most effective setting of the CPL, because the CPL twists and turns, so you can change where the glare is reduced in a photograph. Then I went down to my local lake and then I shot a photograph straight in. This is the ground, focus points around here. This is water, so it's underwater. That's no filter. This is with Kase filter. So look at the difference, like, whew, already you got saturated. It removes that blue glare. You have a slight glare up here, and we go to moments, and I reckon they're pretty close. There might be a tiny bit more glare up here from moments than there is with Kase. Now what I did was I went to the boat ramp, and this is water poured here, so it has some glare on it as well as the glare on the water. So this is no filter. Then we went to Kase. So look at that. You see already, like, it reduces all the glare all the way into the water. You're never gonna reduce all of it, but that is really, really significant. And then I went to Moment. A Moment does not have the same reach, both with the water here and also into the lake. So at this stage, I'm pretty impressed. So let's push on. This is my window, and it's got these awful reflections, right? So this and this and this is all outside. The chair, the bookshelf are all inside. So it's just a mess. So I went to Kase, and Kase reduces it significantly so I can see what's in. That's as best as I could do, but it was really bright and really glary. And then this is Moment's attempt. Moment's attempt versus Kase's attempt versus no filter. What do you think? You be the judge, but I am sold on the Kase CPL Mark III. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. If you want to grab yourself one of these, there's a link in the description below. Thanks, Kase, for sending it to me. Any questions, I'd be happy to have a crack at answering them. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.